say they dedicated, I don't see the dedication. They wanna say they dedicated, I don't see the dedication now. These niggas say they dedicated, I don't see the dedication. They wanna say they dedicated, I don't see the dedication now.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is JH, and we gonna get right into it. The debate over, excuse the noise. You hear a little bit of noise. My AC ain't working. Jay's been sweating, trying to get this rectified. But if you can't hear me, turn your volumes up. The debate over working too many hours or too little hours. So let's start from the root. The root is when you first apply to the post office and you're coming in as an assistant or a support employee, PSE, or an assistant, mail handler assistant, or a CCA. If you read, I know that sounds crazy, I know it sounds odd, the drop down when you first click the job description, it tells you that your hours vary. People have the assumption that they're guaranteed to work all these crazy hours that CCA Nick works and everybody else works. Well, there is no guarantee. Like all other industries, the post office has a down season, right? So now let me give you it from my perspective. My perspective is a lot of people should come in, not coming in with the full-fledged slam you with a ton of hours, because a lot of people can't handle it. That's the truth. A lot of people can't handle the ton of hours. Now we have individuals that are workaholics, hard workers, that come in there with the mindset, I come in here to work, I need money, I need the 40 hours, I need 40 hours or more, and that's a great mindset. Keep that mindset when you come in. But if you only come in and you're only making 32 hours a week or 30 hours a week, I made a video about that. There are other alternatives. But you have to take into consideration that an average individual that comes out of a computer world or somebody that's not working difficult jobs comes in to be a CCA and they get slammed with work, that's where the turnover comes in, because they're not accustomed to working heavy work. They're just straight into the fire, very little training, and they have no time to get acclimated with the job. We have people that can pick up in no time, but then you have people that cannot get acclimated with the job. So you have the debate. I should come in with a ton of hours. I should come in, there's too many hours. So as I read the comments, they go back and forth. Recently, there's not enough hours, there's not enough hours. But look at it from a business perspective. A business perspective says, I will put Karen into, sorry for the name, but Karen into a CCA position, and let's start her off with 20 hours a week. That way she's not overwhelmed. Then, a couple weeks down the line, she'll get 30 hours. Then down the line, she'll get 40. And then she'll get, the real season. Versus, let's put Karen in, and she's starting off where I get comments where people talking about they can't even feel their feet. They're getting blisters and everything. Now, I'm sure when you read the comments, you'll have a diverse discussion about people working too many or not enough. But how do we please everybody? How are you going to get pleased? There's too many different, the generations say, I want to work a lot of hours. I don't want to work a lot of hours. I want to work a lot of hours and make a lot of money. I don't want to work a lot of hours and make a lot of money. How is everybody going to get pleased? It cannot happen. You have to ask yourself, if this were my business, how would I bring somebody in? Should I just toss them to the wolves? Because again, everything around the country is not the same. Heavier work volume, heavier mail volume is in different places at different times. Example, Florida has a tourist season. Florida also has a snowbird season. So a lot of people come from Canada, New York, up north, and they go down to Florida during the cold weather time. During that time, the mail volume increases substantially because there's a lot more people there during that period. So the work volume will be heavy. So somebody that might have started in December or January, while the snowbirds are there, they're going to have a heavy work volume. But what happens when somebody starts in April? All the snowbirds are headed back north, or somebody starts in May. They're gone already. So the work volume is not as heavy as it would have been 4 months before that. Does that mean it's going to stay that way? No. But it's an intelligent decision, in my opinion, to start easing your way into the fire versus going straight in, because not everybody can handle it. Not everybody can handle it. Not everybody has the hard mentality and hard work mind, the military mindset to say, hey, let's get in there and let's get it. Some people want it handed to them. And you know, hey, if you get it handed to you initially and you start to work your way up and you're able to get acclimated in a timely manner where your 90 days is come into effect, then yes, that's a good idea. But the ones that want to come in and they want those ton of hours, sometimes your area just doesn't supply that amount of mail. The mail just isn't in there. So if you're living in Fargo, North Dakota, South Dakota, wherever, you're not going to get the same amount of mail as you would as if you're, in Dallas, Texas. It's just not that. It just doesn't work that way. I mean, the discussion can be held on two different spectrums. So is it fair to voice your opinion and your frustrations? Absolutely. But please analyze the whole picture before you think about you and what you can and you cannot have. I mean, we're out for ourselves. We're here to make money for ourselves. Absolutely. But if we're here to do this for ourselves and you cannot get that whole thing going, then maybe you should have just, hey, you know what? Started your own business. That would be intelligent, right? Start your own business. That way you could work the hours you want to work, make the money you feel as if you deserve to make. But once you punch a clock, you belong to somebody else during those hours. And what happens during those hours is you either give it all you can, do your best, and continue grinding until you achieve what you want, or you whine and you moan about it while you're on the clock, and people perceive that. And then the next day when they have a free open route, they're less privy to call you because you suck. I mean, there's no other way to put it. So if you come in there with a soft, dragging mentality, but you want to make all that money, things don't always work like that. I don't know why I would need to explain this, but I am explaining the differences on why sometimes it's heavier than other times. You can guarantee that during the holiday seasons, the mail volume increases, but you can also guarantee that during the light season, the mail volume is low. So you just have to figure out whether or not you want to stick it out and push through to the end. If any of that makes sense, to anybody, think, push through it. Nobody deserves top-notch pay. You work and you earn it. And then when you get to that point where you know that you are there, then hey, enjoy the spoils of your hard work. But nobody's gifted anything. That's the real world. It's not this fictitious world where we get everything we want and work this much. If that was the case, and if you know of companies that do that, please, I challenge you to leave the information for that company in the video description, in the comment section, because It's not for me to pick at anybody. But if you know of a company that does delivery, it's a warehouse environment where you're able to make great money and work less and have excellent benefits, please leave the information for everybody to see. But don't gripe and say, hey, oh, I can go somewhere else. Well, please tell us where you've gone. Because if you got a place that I can go, I'd leave this place in a minute. But until then, I just haven't seen it yet. I'll chime in on a couple comments and say, hey, just tell me what you think. And nobody has yet to tell me. And that's not, again, I'm not digging at anybody, but I have a little bit of age on me. I've been through a few jobs myself, and I have yet to find something that's going to suit my needs better than where I'm at. If you know of a place, please leave the information, and I will do the research. And if it's justified, I will share that information, because that's what this channel is about, sharing information amongst our peers. This is JH, hoping that his AC gets fixed. We out.